Hey everyone, it's your figure break, and today on your break, I'm reviewing the 1/8 scale Edna figure from Alter. So sit back, relax, and enjoy your break. Alright everyone, here it is, the Edna figure, all the way from my December haul. Finally, we're getting to open up this figure. Really excited to open this up because it's a figure by Alter, and Alter is always on their A game in terms of their detail, but let's see how they did. As for the box just has the typical front window of the figure. One thing that you'll notice actually as we're looking around the box itself, there's not many pictures of the figure before opening it. It seems like what they did is whatever you can't see the figure, you basically don't have, you basically have a picture then. So the front, no picture of the character whatsoever. The side, no picture again. Now the back, you actually get a frontal of the figure itself. And then on the side too. And then as you can see, as you're going around the figure, they really kept with this kind of tribal writing theme details throughout the entire box. And then one other thing that I usually don't typically see on figures is you get to see the scale, the sculptor who made it, and the paint master, as it were, of the figure in English. I usually think that those are in Japanese on the outside of the box, but this is all in English, which I find really interesting because there is an English release of this figure, but it's still of the game anyways. There is an English release and then an English dub of the anime, but still really surprising that on the figures there's, the English of those details. So, yeah, overall, it's a pretty nice little box. They kept with the theme of Tales of Zestiria, so really nice box. But let's go ahead and open it up. So, in terms of this figure, as you know from my haul video, it was one of those figures that at first I was on the fence about getting, and then I started playing the game and then watching the anime, and I started really falling in love with this character. It's a very unique character design. The voice actor of it played the character, I think, perfectly, and it's just a really interesting character. If you ever have the chance, you should also play the Tales of Zestiria game. The best way to describe what the game is like in terms of the actual gameplay and mechanics, take hack and slash of Dynasty Warriors and combine it with Final Fantasy kind of aspects to it in terms of like getting, equipment and whatnot. I mean, Dynasty Warriors had that, but think of it as more of extravagant, if that makes sense, in terms of collecting the gear. So, and if you're wanting just unique gameplay, play the games Tales of Zestiria. If you want a interesting story, you want to watch the anime, because they go into a little bit more detail with the anime, and then there's also a little bit of extra stories, and then also there's a couple of episodes that actually introduce the next Tales of gaming series, which is Tales of Baristia or something like that. I forgot the name. Baristia. it's a tale of Baristias from tea shops. that's what the entire next Tales of is that you're just in a tea shop fighting monsters. Oh gosh. Oh no! Where did that come from? Oh, something broke. Oh no. Okay, that's really surprising, actually, just in general. So, you know how usually on the boxes you see a window that's open of the face? This is completely open. It's not like there's no plastic covering on it. It's just an opening, as it were. There's nothing that's actually protecting the face. Maybe that's why that fell off. I hope it wasn't because of bad glue and that it's just kind of supposed to come off like that. But anyways, continuing on with the opening. Hopefully there's nothing else that's like that. To be honest, it's actually kind of surprising of Alter. Usually they're pretty good about making sure that, their figures are really well structured, and that's all together in one piece when it arrives. So that's really surprising to see something like that. Alter, from what I understand in terms of their reputation, is pretty good about making sure that kind of stuff doesn't happen. But There's always that exception. Okay, all right, let's put this down here. Let's get the bit. Wow. Wow. That's the base. Really? That's such an awkward shape. I mean, yeah, and then it even says like the character's name on it. And then it has a decal on the center that's going to be covered by the wow. That's a really bad base. That's saddening. Okay, let's hope that the rest of this figure is going to be okay. Wow, okay. Yeah, see? This? This is nice. This is not. Nice? Not. Okay. Okay. So, like, by weird mishap that happened to come out. I don't know if because, like, the glue was weird or it's supposed to do that, but it went back in just fine, so yay! It's not broken! Thank goodness, because it would suck to have, like, one of my very first... Well, it's not my first altar figure, but it would be really sad to have an altar figure, or the first altar figure featured on this channel to be broken right out of the box. Here is the infamous umbrella. Now, I have heard things about this umbrella that it is extremely hard to put in and get it set up. And apparently there was instructions for this. So, in the description, I'm going to put the instructions on how they recommend to put this on and attach it. It'll be in the description down below. So if you're figuring out, if you're looking around of how you get this umbrella in without breaking it, the directions in the description. So, okay, so let's get this in. Okay, it's in. Whew. I'm sweating bullets right now. That is by far the most nerve-wracking assembly that I have ever done in any figure. That was terrifying. Hopefully the rest of this will go easy. Alright, another quick little note is on the umbrella in terms of the little Norman, something like that it's called. There is a little of these little silver parts right here. There is one a little bit kind of like thicker that you'll see on the umbrella when you're assembling it. There is a tiny... There's this little wire right here. It's actually a little wire. It's not a piece of plastic or anything like that. There's a little hole that it goes in through. So there is a certain spot where this little Norman goes on the umbrella, and you'll see it. It's a spot that's a little bit thicker. I'll put pictures into so you understand where that goes. But there is a certain little part of the umbrella that he goes into. So just kind of keep that in mind when you're assembling it. Right? So here she is, all assembled, and this is an amazing figure. Very nice painting on it, very nice sculpting on it, and the first thing that I want to talk about is the dress. The dress, again, the dress shows exactly how amazing the painting and the sculpting is on this figure. The wrinkles right here at her waist, amazingly sculpted. It almost looks like real cloth. It's absolutely amazing. Also, there's kind of like this slight kind of gradiency to like a white to like a cream color, and then like a nice orangey, like a darker creamy white. The painting is just phenomenal on it. And the base right here of the dress, what's amazing about it is that it's kind of layered. It's not just painted flat. So there's like this kind of layered dress kind of look that they have, which is a nice combination of both the paint and sculpting of this figure. It's absolutely amazing the amount of detail that the dress shows alone on the figure. The ribbon and the roses on her back are also really, really nicely done. The ribbon has this nice kind of yellow to orange gradiency on it. And it's not like the Miku one where the gradiency goes too fast. It's so perfect. It's so smooth. It's absolutely amazing. The roses also are really nicely sculpted. They're very nicely detailed. Have this very nice gradiency from this pink to a white. It's absolutely amazing of the detailing of the paint job on the roses and the ribbon, and also the sculpting on the ribbons and the roses too. It's absolutely phenomenal, the detailing on those two things. Now, as for her face and hair, those are also really nicely executed. Very nice gradiency on the hair. The eyes don't look lopsided or anything like that. She has this very kind of indifferent face on her, which is very prevalent of the character. The little bow also right here, again, that nice gradiency that's like consistent throughout the entire figure. It's really, really nice. Bow seems to stay in there despite the fact that it fell off, so that's good. So really, really glad that is now staying in there. So really, really happy definitely with the hair and the face on this figure. Now, one of the other things is also the umbrella. It's at the very center of the umbrella, it's kind of like this, again, it's this very nice gradiency on this entire figure. It's a really nicely done paint job throughout the entire figure. They really didn't hold back on anything whatsoever on the figure. And in terms of, you know, they also showed that they couldn't just do gradiency all over the place. There's also just this really nice kind of consistent lining on the outside of this umbrella. Very nice and consistent. There's no part that's like where it's too wide or it's too narrow. It's very nicely executed. It's absolutely amazing. Somebody who put that on there had a very, very steady hand, that's for sure. The other thing about the umbrella is this little Norman right here. It needs to stop shaking around like crazy. Holy cow. Very nice detailing on this little kind of stuffed toy right here. It's absolutely amazing the amount of detail on it. Even on the little handle part down here, there's very nice detailing of the gradiency and even the little like kind of carved lines here at the top of near her hand at the handle. It's absolutely amazing the amount of detail that they put into the umbrella too. The boots on this figure, really nicely executed, and of course those are like one of the main features of Edna. Very, very nicely done. The buckles are absolutely amazingly detailed with both the sculpt and the painting of them. They look like real buckles, to be honest with you. The boots are nicely burnished and worn and very nicely tanned. Like it's absolutely amazing the amount of detail. And just to give you an idea of how amazingly detailed that they did on these boots, and I'll show you by picking up the figure here very gingerly. On the bottoms, on the soles here, you can see the stitching of the soles being attached to the boots. It is absolutely amazing the amount of detail that they put into the boots. It's absolutely ridiculous of how far they went to putting the detail on the boots. It's absolutely amazing. It's so nice that they went to that extra mile of putting in details on the boots. It's very, very nice. Now, as for the rock base that you get, definitely the better alternative from that stupid like diamond shaped like base that you get. It's very, very nicely sculpted, that's for sure. The painting on it, it's okay. Like it's not amazing like the main figure is, but I guess that's a good thing because then the base doesn't take away from the figure. So that's really nice in terms of that it's not too detailed that it takes away from the main figure, but it's nice enough that it's not this ugly like diamond shaped thing that you get. As for a rating of this figure, no hesitation, 9.5. Absolutely amazing job that Alter did with this figure. Painting is A game, sculpting A game. It's amazing that of the amount of dedication and work that they put into this figure. It's the gradiency on it is not too much, it's not too little. It is absolutely amazing the amount of painting detail that they put into this. Sculpting detail is also on point with the wrinkling on the dress, the ribbons, the boots, the rock base is even amazingly sculpted. Literally the only thing that is holding back this figure is that triangular base. But I'm not going to be using it anyway, so like, why do I care? I have this rock base now instead of that triangular base, so I don't need to use it. They did an amazing job on this figure, and I am so glad that I changed my mind on getting it and went ahead and got it anyways. So really glad that I have it, and then it's now in my collection. So alright everyone, that concludes my review of the 1/8 scale Edna figure by Alter. I really hope you enjoyed the review, and I really hope you enjoyed your break too. I will see you in the next video. See you later.